Oh my gosh, we can have fun for hours like this. I can have fun for hours like this.
Well, Sean, I think the people of Salt Lake love you.
Honestly, that was so much fun. That was so good. That was so good. And you know, that was honor in honor of What did they say? So, we never do. So, in honor of the papal visit to the United States of America, that's what prompted the idea to do that. So, no little girl came running up to me and handed me a t-shirt and a letter, but I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but if you're locked in the car all the time, there's stuff going on outside. So, the one thing about the Pope and his message, glorify God, not yourself. So, I'm not sure I just did that. But I really appreciate the gesture. Everybody, you are awesome. Thank you so much.
Now, Sean, you've been to Salt Lake several times before. You've shot some movies here. What do you like about Salt Lake City?
The people. The view, the mountains are incredible. This place is awesome. I love Salt Lake City. It's beautiful. I know a lot of Mormons, so when I come here, I interact with a lot of Mormons. I know a lot of counterculture, fringe type people who are just as proud and virulent of their culture. So both of those extremes seem to commingle in this place with great confidence, and it makes me feel like, you know, you can go anywhere and be with anyone.
I want to test the age group in the audience. Who loves him in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Booyakasha! Come on, stop talking and start fighting. Let's go, Mikey. So you know, this is not a spoiler. Well, no, this is not a spoiler because it was announced at the other con in San Diego, the other Comic-Con. Hold on, we owe a debt of gratitude. They're the ones who kicked this off, so they may be from another generation and shouldn't drive anymore, but we still gotta respect them. So, what was I going to say? There was Turtles. Oh, right. They announced that Raphael, my character, whose colored bandana is... Whoever that 9-year-old was, you were absolutely right. He gets a girlfriend. Her name is... I'm not releasing anything they haven't said because I was there. So her name is Mona Lisa, and she's played by Robin Williams' daughter, Zelda. I cannot divulge if there is a kissing scene.
Now let's test the other age group. How many of us love him for Goonies?
Don't you guys see? Don't you realize? He was a pro and he never got this far. For the minute we ride up Troy's bucket.
But maybe the role that he was born to play, to honor all the kindness and all the goodness in the world. How many of us love him for Samwise Gamgee?
Since those movies came out, since the first one came out. And everywhere I go around the world, there are adoring fans of Tolkien's work and people who have been moved and affected by the movies and the stories, the characters, people who love Samwise Gamgee, you know, talk about the ways in which he's, you know, a hero in the story. See how diplomatically I put that? But this is like, you know, back in the day, you know, if there weren't 10,000 people throwing stuff stuff at you. You haven't woken up that morning.
And how many of us love his charity work where he played the title role in Rudy?
We're gonna go inside, outside, inside, outside. We're gonna get him on the run, boys. We're gonna get him on the run. We're gonna get him on the run. We're gonna go. Go, 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 go. Thank you. I don't know. I got 200 of these made up from each of them, but there's more than 200 people here. More than 400 people here.
We have about 5,000 people here.
Wow. So, thank you, by the way, for bringing me this. We just cooked these things up. Oh, should I talk about these now or later? Yeah? Okay. So, can you turn the lights on?
Turn the lights up a little bit so we can see the audience.
Honestly, you know what? I need to take a picture of this. Seriously. Hold on, this is crazy. And I gotta go to Canada. Okay. Okay, so just so you guys know, that was a panorama photograph. Now let's do a video. Go. Absolutely insane. Okay.
You just made Sean Astin's home video.
I'm gonna go home to my wife and daughters. I almost said 3 daughters. The oldest one's off to college, so my wife and 2 daughters are at home. Actually, I'll text it to my oldest daughter and be like, I'm not as lame as you think. My 13-year-old will say, did they know it was you? So, in 15 days, I'll be thinking about you all as I compete in the 140.6 mile test that is the Ironman Championship Triathlon. It's 17 hours long. At least you have to do it in 17 hours. I hope I do it in 15 and a half, 16. But so plenty of time to think about you. What it meant. I'm trying to recall individual faces in the crowd, you know. So I have so one of these little postcard things that I just had a couple hundred of them made. It's for my charity. I'm running for my charity. Run Third campaign is. You guys know about Run Third? Okay, so I run first for myself. Like if you say, like, hey, why do you go for runs? Like, man, it keeps me physically fit. It's good mental health hygiene. I feel better. I'm a better person. I'm nicer to be around. I'm just, you know, when you're fit, everything's good. So I run for myself. It's my time of solitude to reflect and think and just be at one with nature. And I've run here a bunch. I've run all over Salt Lake City. All over. There's some great roads that you can go on. There's like a housing, like nice community up there, and there's a factory over there and stuff. But anyhow, and then if you say, well, who else do you run for? I'd say, well, I run for my wife and children. Okay. Christine, we've been married 24 years. I was telling somebody in line that she had 18 months to wise up before we got married, so she stuck with me. And then we have our 3 daughters, Allie, who's 18 and just started Harvard. Got that from her mother. So that's Allie, and then Elizabeth is 13. And Bella is 10. So, and they were all here 4th of July. Last year we were all in Salt Lake City and they were dressed up as, I don't know, not orcs. They were dressed up as, I don't know, princesses. I don't know. It's hard to keep up. Not hobbits. Allie was a hobbit. Okay. I have so many different things to share. Anyhow, so I run third. If I was going to dedicate a run, like when I do countless 10Ks and 5Ks, I've done dozens and dozens of half marathons. I've run 10 full marathons. And since 2012, I've been dedicating my runs. And I dedicate them, I run third for you. So if you're on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, you can do hashtag RUN3RD. Wait, hold on. That's actually the medal from our inaugural 5K that was in Mesa, Arizona. And basically what Run Third, it took years, but now we're actually turning it into a formal charity, and we're taking money in and we're supporting after-school running programs, elementary school after-school running programs. If you've ever seen a little kid who didn't have anything to do in an afternoon, the parents are working or they just didn't have any structured activity, and a coach or a friend or somebody says, hey, let's put together a little group, let's go for a run, and you see 3 or 5 or 10 people going for a run together at 3 in the afternoon or 3:30, 4 o'clock, and when they finish, it's a different world. And so we take this Run Third idea, we put it into their lesson plan. So you've got these 4th and 5th graders, 6th graders writing, what does the idea of running for someone else mean? And then they go home to their friends or family, loved ones, causes they believe in, and they decide who they're going to dedicate their run to, and then they wear that on their back. So on race day, they get the medal, which is awesome. They get a t-shirt, which is awesome. They run in a 5K, 3.1 mile race, which is awesome, with their teachers, and the mayor was there, and they had, it was an event. There was news there, and they were so excited about it. And then, but that's not the thing that means the most to them. What means the most to them is that they were running for their abuelita, or they were running for their cousin who just got back from Iraq, or they're running for whoever, or they're running, they know somebody who has breast cancer, their aunt or somebody, and they're running for them. So they stand taller, they stand taller, and there's something important. Now they're members of their community. They're not going and asking other people for stuff. They're wanting to give something. And they have something to give, their footsteps, their heart, their life. The fact that they're alive. So I have 200 of these things. Raise your hand if you think you want, it's a GoFundMe campaign. Raise your hand if you think you want to donate to it. Yeah, there's a few. Okay, wait, hold on, we gotta get some, hold on. Do we have somebody who can hand them out?
Do we have a runner back there that can come and grab some of these and hand them out?
That's awesome.
We'll do it at the end. We'll grab some.
No, while they're sitting there. You gotta get them while they're sitting there. Alicia Day's out there. It's like, okay, so that's one. The other one is, I'm running 2 of these campaigns, and the reason I did the Run Third one now is because Iron Man, who invited me to do the Run Third 5K, who invited me to do the Ironman in Kona, they're giving $25,000 to the charity. So, yeah. So they were like, hey, you should use this platform. All right, raise your hand. How many people are going to hand those out? I'm going to try to make this easy for you. No, I know, but I want people to raise their hands and say who they think they'll actually do it, because it's got the thing on there. So hand it to the folks there. There you go. Okay, so the other one that I started before that is my pet project that kind of goes towards the Lord of the Rings theme here. It's called Sean Reads Aloud, and it's a subscription series that I'm starting because I love reading, and I love reading aloud, and I love reading books. So the idea is that you all are going to pay me, and then I'm going to, my wife, the Sean and Christine Astin Literacy Scholarship Fund, we're going to hand out scholarships, and I'm going to read classics. Right now we're going to start with things in the public domain until the thing starts generating money, and then maybe we can get The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings and other movies. So I read a full book as a teaser called My Father's Dragon by Ruth Stiles Gannett. I also read the first chapters of Peter Pan, The Time Machine, and Treasure Island. So if you go on to the GoFundMe.com/Sean Reads thing, you can actually listen to a chapter and see. And I basically did them like sitting in my bedroom, pushing record on the computer, and and like that.
So if you love Sean playing everybody's best friend, he can be your best friend and read you books.
Or your father, or your teacher, or your coach, or your, prison convict with nothing better to do with his time. Whatever. All right, go ahead. You get a question now. I'm sorry, monopoly.
Melissa.
Forever strong, Kian Haha. Forever strong. Film here in Salt Lake City. Rugby movie.
So if you have never played Iron Man, but you're going to on October 10 be Iron Man, but are there any roles? What's your dream role? What do you wish that someone would cast you as?
I've gotten to play. I played Two Flower in The Color of Magic. You guys know that one? We just lost Terry Pratchett this year, which is sad. He's a gorgeous, brilliant writer. We wrote 17 books in the Discworld series and another 20 or more books after that, or more, I don't know. So there's actually The Color of Magic. That's one of my favorite parts, is Two Flower. He was the first tourist to the Discworld. He had a picture box, so if you wanted to take a picture of the crowd, he would go like this, and inside a little imp would be drawing, like trying to catch it. I need more cyan, like that kind of thing. So, yeah. I always read the prologue a lot, so if we have time, we'll read it. But I don't know, play a sniper, like an assassin, that'd be fun. Or like a western, moody western, where the everyman has to come to the aid of the town. I don't know. I don't care. I'm like, ready to go. I feel. You know what acting is? I feel like I'm in a bullpen, like a pitcher's bullpen in a baseball park, and I'm just waiting for somebody to call my number and say like, oh, now you're gonna play Doug in 50 First Dates. Protein steaks. I mean, honestly, I would not have, Adam just called me, I just did another Adam Sandler movie, and my fourth Christian movie is coming out in October. It's called Woodlawn, October 16th, Woodlawn. It's a wonderful civil rights era story, Birmingham, Alabama, 1973, the story of Tony Nathan, NFL great. I play a chaplain who comes in and gets the football team to basically, declare their love of Christ and how that affects their team and how they get along and their nemesis team across town. And it's a true story. It's right during what they call the Jesus Freak movement, when like Time magazine had this kind of psychedelic image of Jesus on the cover, and Billy Graham was filling up the Cotton Bowl with people. It's an evangelical thing. So like, did that on Thursday. On Friday, I go down to the South with Adam Sandler and do stuff that's decidedly not a Christian movie. So I will, you got to pay me. That's a professional actor. You got to pay an actor. But I'm willing to, unless there's a student film I want to do. I do student film sometimes. But because you got to get back. But whatever. What do you want me to do?
So just make sure you raise the money. But let's open up some questions to some of your fans. Yeah, Goonies 2. Do we still have hope for Goonies 2?
Oh, there's always hope while the fellowship is true. You notice how the Goonies and the Fellowship are kind of... Anyhow. So, is there hope? Of course there's hope. I have proclaimed that 100% without fail, it is a mortal lock that there will be a Goonies sequel. I don't know if I'll be alive when they do it.
He's doing all the Christian movies to try and get some help for Goonies 2.
That's about what it's going to take.
Well, but let's open it up to the line here. We'll ask our questions.
Hi, Sean.
Hi.
My name's Brand. Thanks for being here. My question is really just, I think the best, most emotional scene of the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy is when Sam lifts Frodo on his back, carries him up Mount Doom, Oscar winning in my opinion, but it didn't get it. What was your headspace getting into that scene? What was the lead up to that? How did you prepare for it? Was the emotion on set about as impactful as it was for most of everyone in the audience? Because I think that's the capstone of that series, in my personal opinion.
Well, I appreciate that. Tolkien loved Sam. For Tolkien, Sam was, in a lot of ways, the heart of the story. Frodo says the Shire has been saved, but not for me. Well, it has been saved for Sam and other agrarian, peace-loving ale-drinking, song-singing, children-making people. So, and in that scene, you know, and he's like, you know, do you remember the Shire, Mr. Frodo? It'll be springtime soon, the birds will be nesting in the hazel thickets, and it'll be eating the first of the strawberries and cream and that whole thing. Okay, so that's what they're fighting for. So you know, I remember when we were doing rehearsals in the 6 weeks before filming, and we were in Peter's house. Peter Jackson was there, the four hobbits. I don't know if there's more people in the one little den area where we were talking a lot about it. But I remember him saying, well, I don't want there to be a lot of Sam in the first one. Might as well, like, just carved out my guts with a knife. I mean, I was just like, oh, right, yeah. Save it for 2002, 3 years from now. You know, make a living somehow between the two. You know, people didn't know if it would do well. Anyhow, so there was an awful lot of sitting around. You know, walking across the Shire, and walking across Mordor, and more walking across the Shire, and more walking. Every now and then you got to Bree and there was a fight, or you'd get to like a Rivendell and there were elves. That was kind of cool, but then it was back to walking across the Shire. And like we did a lot of walking, a lot of thinking. You know, the Council of Elrond, where's Samwise? It doesn't matter. You know, at the end, and he's not going anywhere without me. But you know, for the 2 weeks they were filming the actual scene, I was sitting in my dressing room reading The Hobbit, you know, I was like, so we get out to Mount Ruapehu, where we were staying, and part of the time we were staying at the Powderhorn, which is like a ski lodge, you know, wood panel things. It was like, everything felt like a sauna, and we would watch dailies of the previous day's work, which was like, you know, in couches in their room, the like conferencing room type thing. It was just awesome. It was like you're on. You'd go with your friends who go on a ski trip to this place. The lodge was so cool. And we were there and we were making a movie, which is even cooler than a ski trip. And then we went up Ruapehu, which is in the center of the North Island, not too far from Lake Taupo. And it's an active volcano, burping and spewing, smelling sulfur, you know, black. It only erupted like 30 years ago. Are you sure it's going to be okay, volcano? And we were staying at the Grand Chateau. I think that's what it was called. Haunted.
What are the Rams fans?
Well, you know, and somehow the cannabis club was in town. So like, I had my 3-year-old daughter Allie with me at the time, and the one who just started Harvard. So that's capturing the passage of time for you, for me. Life flashing in front of your eyes. So. Basically, like everywhere you walk, you're like, I think we need to like go out on a little golf course because Allie is going to be subjected to all this pot smoke, and it's like not a good idea. Like in your room, it's like, and then people are scared of ghosts and everything. Anyhow, so that's where our headspace was. The ghosts and the pod and the like little golf course where you know you could take a broken club out and play. It wasn't like a golf course; it was like 3 holes on the grounds of the spooky mansion that we were staying in. We get in the car. Now I knew that, Samwise gets to carry Frodo up the hill, but I didn't remember the dialogue. I was just like in the surviving everyday mode for a long time. And I woke up and we get in the car and we got the sides. The sides are the miniature versions of the script. And I don't think I've ever told this story like this before, in 15 years. So you get to see just what the scenes for the day are. And, like every actor, the first thing I did was like look to see if Sam was in it. And I was like, ooh, another Sam line. Like, I would be excited if one night of all-night shooting I got to say, get down! Like, that was a week's worth of joy right there. And then Roisin Carty, our dialect coach, was like, Sean, that one went a bit, get down! Like, oh, sorry, get down! So I started reading this language, and I was so excited. I really had a proper scene to play. And I'm looking at it, and then I'm starting to get scared. Like, I really worked on this. I'm not ready for this. And the van is getting up to the top of the thing, and then you get out of the van, you get in the sport utility vehicle, and you get to the top of the thing, and then you start hiking to the top of the whatever. And I'm doing the lines over and over and over again. And Elijah's there, and the two of us are there, and I'm like, hey, you want to run the scene together? Which you do a few times. Yeah, sure. He didn't have any lines. He's laying there like, Sam. but he was nice enough to listen to me all 5,000 times I was running it. And then, so now it didn't take very long to memorize it, to actually properly memorize it. I had it right there. But the poetry of the language was so good, I wanted to do it over and over again. And I kept doing it. And then I started to get this nervous feeling, like we're gonna shoot it, and then it'll be over. And I won't get to keep doing it. So I wanted to keep doing it all, you know, and hopefully we'll shoot it after lunch so I can be doing it all during lunch. And I just did it over and over and over again. At one point, Elijah was like, you got it, you know? So we go for our hike along the top of the volcano ridge, which was hilarious because they weren't, like, the technology was evolving the whole time. You know, there was, at a certain point, they didn't need a green screen or a blue screen. They just filmed whatever they want, and they knew they'd replace whatever they wanted digitally. Well, it used to be like, you can't have anything overlapping the green screen, you know, and the way the green screen was lit would take 12 hours just to get it exactly right, and then you couldn't look and your eye line had to be at a certain thing. It was like a very constricted process, even at the beginning of the films. By the middle of the films, fighting Shelob, you're in the cave, do the fight scene. Wherever the spider's supposed to be, the spider's supposed to be, and it'll be there. You know, they had brought in this terrible-looking Goonies octopus-style spider, right? Yeah, exactly. It was terrible. It was terrible. And you knew they'd never use it, but, you know, the effects guys wanted to be prepared in case they needed to see, like, one limb with the spindly things. Anyhow, so we're walking up on the volcano, and, like, across the valley, you could see the special effects team setting up a little bit of green screen. You're like, what is that gonna do? Are they gonna have to like photograph it in a way where like we're in the foreground but they can't see anything else other than the green screen behind us? Because like, why not just shoot it in a parking lot like we did some of the other stuff, you know? There's a whole lot of stuff that was in the parking lot, so you would be like, really? That was in the parking lot? So it was like the back lot of Universal without the water tower and the sign. But basically, so they had all these pots set up with the smoking. They were meant to be the smoke coming up. And somehow, by the time we got to it, it was the end of the day. And this is what always happens. And when it comes time to do your bit, there's like no time left. So it's always like that. It's always like that. They'll wait for 3 hours for the guy who's trimming the hedges next door to get bribed off to like turn the thing off so the sound will work. And then 2 seconds to the 5-page scene. You know, so basically they had 2 cameras set up. I'm cradling, there wasn't much like choreographing it, you know, staging it. It was basically what it was supposed to be. And at a certain point, as the light is fading, Peter's like, go. And the truth is that the characters were so ingrained in us after the many months of filming that we've been shooting. We were the characters. You didn't need to rehearse for a second. You've been living it every day, 16 hours a day, 6 days a week. By the time we did that, it was probably at least 6 months in. Every day with the feet, every day with the clothes, every day with the makeup and the ears and the hair, every day with the sword, every day with the backpack, up and down and waiting, and, you know, and being surrounded by these other incredible actors. You know, today it's Ian McKellen, tomorrow it's Kate Blanchett, the next day it's, you know, whoever it was. Even then, you know, Andy Serkis had just gotten there, and he was opening up a can of beans on Gollum. And so that was like this new energy that came at us. Anyhow, so we start doing it. It was incredible. It was incredible, the language. I just graduated with a degree in history and American literature and culture from UCLA. And so I was, go Bruins. So I was trained to hear the music and the language. I was primed to know how to explicate the poetry. And to what end? For what purpose do we do this? This was an incredible ascension as a student to a performer. And I did it sobbing, Elijah sobbing. His eyes are supposed to be closed. The wheel of fire is turning and he's crying on his thing. Peter Jackson, the stoic, rudder, the visionary, composed, always prepared, jolly, never a shred of tension visible on him, comes around from the monitor, tears streaming around his face. This is a guy who said to me at one point, after I did a line of dialogue, he comes over and he goes, on another day, months earlier, he said, I just didn't believe that. Well, you, again, ripped my guts out. He was good at gut ripping. He should put that on his resume. I know how to rip a actor's guts out. So he had tears streaming down his face. And he looked and he just was like, I don't need to say anything, is what his face said. I said, can I do it again? Can I do it again? He said, sure. And we did it. Can I do it again? Can I do it again? Sure. And he let me just keep doing it over and over. Not because we didn't get it, but because it was just catharsis. I was just pouring, my soul was pouring out while we were doing it. I can't carry it for you, but I can carry you. I don't, finally it was dark. The crew was gone. Elijah's like, can I smoke a cigarette? Because he smokes.
So you stayed there because he's your friend.
I had him pinned down.
Good
question. I'm going to answer the rest of these questions much more quickly, but thank you for that question.
Someone from the Wizarding World.
Hello, Hermione.
Hi. My name is Sydney, and my question is, did you take a prop home from A Lord of the Rings?
Interesting. So we started, Sydney, thank you for your good question. We started filming The Lord of the Rings in the 20th century. That means it wasn't a 2000 when you're writing a date. It was 1999. I don't know when pop was invented, but I'm pretty sure it was like in the last 6 months. So, no. And I was shocked to see that people fell in love with these characters. And so now I sign them all the time, but I do not own one. And I do not wish for you to give me one, so. But I like, they're cool. Thank you, Sydney.
Are there any props you took home?
I thought she said pop. Sydney, you gotta say thank you. I was given the gift of the backpack that Sam wore, including sausages, pots and pans, and elephant rope. I was also given the gift of my sword, not Sting, but the sword, the somewhat less glamorous, non-glowy sword that Sam wears. He does use Sting, though, if you'll recall, to kill Shagrat in the Tower of Kirithungor. I think that's what it's called. Anyhow, and then, but the thing that made me, and I stole some Hobbit feet. So, but we were given the little dress that my daughter Allie, who's now famous from this convention appearance of mine, she played Eleanor, the little Hobbit daughter who comes running down the road at 3 Bagshot Row when Sam returns home from farewelling Frodo to the Grey Havens. And so she must have been 5 when we finished. She was 2 when we started. And they gave us her dress, which she could never fit in again. A lot of tears at that moment. Thank you, Sydney, for your actual question. All right, speed round.
Speed round. He will answer your questions as quickly as possible. Batman.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Ben Hayes, and I was wondering, does Mikey from Goonies like his potatoes boiled, mashed, or stuck in a stew?
Excellent question. Does he eat anything in the whole movie? Potato chips at the beginning. Well, he was kind of fit. He was kind of a skinny-ish teenager or preteen. So I don't know that starch would have been his way to go. Basically, he would have had some lembas bread before the journey because it sustained him for like weeks. Of course, that would have given elven bread breath when he kissed the girl, but whatever. Cute.
Next question.
Hi, Sean. My name is Zach. I was wondering, a lot of us grew up watching Lord of the Rings. What movies did you grow up watching, and who were your biggest influences?
Back to the Future, E.T., Raiders of the Lost Ark. Gilligan's Island. Dukes of Hazzard. The Patty Duke Show. It's my mom, you guys. It's my mom. Meet Patty, who's been most everywhere. That's from the 60s. Anyhow. Yeah, so there's so many more. Gandhi. Loved Gandhi. Patton. Godfather. Mostly when I was 12. Go ahead.
My name is Aaliyah. I wanted to know what your favorite line in the whole trilogy was.
We've come to honor the alliance between elves and men. Haldir says it when he arrives at Helm's Deep. By the way, anytime I'm asked a what's your favorite question, I always answer differently every time. That was a good answer that time.
You're a different person every day.
Hi, I'm Allison. Who did you enjoy portraying more, Sam or Rudy?
It's like the same guy, right? It is. One's got like, you know, I could write an essay on that probably, but basically, which one did I enjoy playing more? Sacking the quarterback in front of 58,000 screaming Irish fans, or having to put on 40 pounds for 2 years, carry a really uncomfortable backpack every day, hurting my feet all the time. Mikey.
In Mom's Night Out, you play a Sean who has a dislocated shoulder. In real life, how much experience do you have with such an injury?
All I drew on from that was Mel Gibson in Lethal Weapon.
Thor Odinson, you are clearly in impeccable shape, sir. I simply want to ask, do you have any martial arts training in lieu of Ninja Turtles? And if you do not, is there a style that you're interested in?
I studied Kenpo when I was 16. During one of my tests, I got roundhouse kicked, and I was posing for a block. But you should block with your hand closed, so my finger popped, and like, stop doing that. I love the ninjutsu thing is just awesome, and particularly how they do it on that show. I mean, if you haven't watched our iteration of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cartoon on Nickelodeon, it's legit. It looks cinematic. The fighting sequences are just so cool. It's goofy in parts, but it's also really dramatic. The ninja stuff is, yeah. Hapkido? I don't know what that is, but it sounds good.
Well,
thank you.
Are you still signing? Are there still photo opportunities with you?
Yeah, I'm here the rest of the day and photo ops and signing at the booth, and tomorrow we're gonna do it. I love this city. I will be hoping, beyond hope, that the autograph signing time at the table and the photo ops take forever, because as soon as they're done, I'm back in a pool for 90 minutes and then on the road for 90 minutes. So I will be, you're rescuing me. Please, come get an autograph and save me.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's stand up for Sean Astin.
Sean Astin! Thank you all so much. Thank you. If you want to run with Sean, he's running tomorrow morning in a superhero run. You can run with him. You can run with me. I haven't decided
what superhero mask, I'm not going full Monty. But when you come up to the table, you know, give me your suggestion on what superhero I should, you know.
Run with them, guys.